Morning students, welcome to class 12 chemistry. We'll have this chart. Here relation between standard potentials, electrode potentials of Hopf cells containing a metal in different oxidation states. See students, here if two Hopf cell reactions having potentials having standard electrode potentials E1 naught and E2 naught are combined to give a Hopf reaction Hopf cell reaction having an electrode having a standard electrode potential E3 naught. Then if two Hopf cell reactions having standard electrode potentials E1 naught and E2 naught are combined to give a other Hopf cell reaction having a standard electrode potential E3 naught, then so delta G3 naught, standard Gibbs free energy change, G3 naught is equal to delta G1 naught plus delta G2 naught. So you already know students, delta G is equal to minus NF E cell. Delta G naught is equal to minus NF E naught cell. So now apply that here. For this number of here you will get minus N3 F E naught 3, okay, is equal to minus N1 F E1 E naught 1 plus. Here also you can take minus N2 F E naught 2. Now from this, if you do, you will get N3 E3 naught is equal to N1 E1 naught plus N2 E2 naught. Okay, from this you can write standard electrode potential E3 naught is equal to N1 E1 naught plus N2 E2 naught, where N1, N2, N3 are number of electrons transferred in the respective electrode reaction by M3. So this is very, very important relationship, students. Very, very important, especially in IIT advanced students, they will have this one very important. Next, suppose if equal number of electrons are involved, in all the Hopf cell reactions, then what would be the relationship here? E3 naught is equal to E1 naught plus E2 naught, where equal number of electrons are involved. Here in that formula, N1, N2, N3 represents number of electrons involved in a particular reaction. Okay students, very important. Next, we will have discussion related to concentration cell. See, what is meant by a concentration cell? A new term for you. What is meant by concentration cells? See, actually it is the cell in which both the electrodes are of the same type. Both the electrodes are of the same type. So whatever the electrodes that are present in this cell, both the electrodes are of the same type, but the concentrations of the ions in them are different. But the concentration of the ions in them are different. This is very, very important. What is meant by concentration? Concentration cell. It is a cell in which both the electrodes are of the same type, but the concentration of the ions in them are different. See this example here. This is a concentration cell consisting of zinc electrodes. So if you observe both anode and cathode, are made up of same electrodes. Both are zinc electrodes. So anode and cathode is made up of same electrode. So zinc rod acts as a anode, at the same time zinc rod acts as a cathode. So in such a cell, oxidation takes place on the electrode with lower concentration. See here, see in such a cell, oxidation takes place on the electrode with lower concentration. See here, if you observe, this is zinc rod dipped in zinc sulfate solution having concentration C1. So this is anode. Zinc rod dipped in zinc sulfate solution having concentration C1 acts as anode. Zinc rod dipped in zinc sulfate solution having concentration C2, it acts as cathode. So here you have to remember that C2 is always greater than C1. It is given that C2 is greater than C1. So in such a cell, oxidation always takes place on the electrode with lower concentration. Hence it acts as anode, negative pole. Did you understand, students? In such a cell, oxidation, in case of concentration cell, oxidation always takes place on the electrode with lower concentration. So generally lower concentration zinc sulfate C1 having lower concentration when compared with cathode electrode. So oxidation takes place on the electrode with lower concentration, hence it acts as anode. Reduction always takes place on the electrode with higher concentration. It acts as cathode, positive pole. It acts as cathode. Did you understand, students? 2 points are very, very important here. So what point you have to remember? In this type, oxidation takes place on the electrode with low concentration. On the electrode with low concentration, and that electrode always acts as anode. Anode is a negative pole. Okay. Next, reduction. Next key point. Reduction takes place on the electrode, that is cathode, with high concentration. So here low concentration is taken as C1, high concentration is taken as C2, and this cathode acts as here positive pole. Okay, students. So it is, you have to remember that C2 is always greater than C1. So the EMF of concentration cell. Next key point. The EMF of a concentration cell. Very important for numericals. EMF of a concentration cell at 298 Kelvin. Temperature is given by E cell is equal to 0.0591 by N log of C2 by C1. Here always remember C2 is greater than C1. That is the formula. C2 must be always greater than C1. This is the formula for calculating EMF of a concentration cell. So EMF of the cell will be positive only. So always you know that EMF of the cell is positive only when C2 greater than C1. So during the course of reaction, as the cell reaction proceeds, what happens, students, during the working of concentration cell? During the working of a concentration cell, C2, concentration C2 decreases, whereas concentration C1 increases till both the concentrations become equal. That is C1 is equal to C2. At this stage, EMF of the cell is equal to 0. Hence, cell stops working. Okay, key points. Very, very important, students. So this is about concentration cell. So you can take some more examples. So first example for concentration cell already we have written here. That is zinc electrode, zinc rod dipped in zinc sulfate having concentration C1 separated by salt bridge. Zn2 plus having concentration C2. So in brackets you write C2 greater than C1. This is the example for concentration of cell of zinc electrode. At the same time you can take hydrogen electrode H plus having salt bridge, again H plus C2 concentration. This is designation. Here platinum 1 atmospheric pressure. Okay. So here also platinum 1 atmospheric pressure in brackets. So this is hydrogen concentration cell of hydrogen electrode. So this is very, very important, students. So this is about the concentration cell. Next, we will discuss about electrochemical cell series. What is meant by electrochemical series? What is meant by electrochemical series? See, some important rules we have to follow. According to latest IUPAC convention, IUPAC sign convention, the electrode at which reduction takes place, the electrode at which reduction takes place, electrode at which reduction takes place with respect to SHE, standard hydrogen electrode, according to latest IUPAC sign notation, the electrode at which reduction takes place with respect to She, standard hydrogen electrode, has a reduction potential, which has positive sign, So very important point. The electrode at which reduction takes place, that is cathode, with respect to SHE has, that means SHE acts as anode. Okay. The electrode at which reduction takes place with respect to SHE has a reduction potential which has a positive sign. Now the next point, the electrode at which oxidation takes place, the electrode at which oxidation takes place with respect to SHE has an oxidation potential, which has negative sign, very, very important point, which has a negative sign. Next, very, very important, what is meant by electrochemical series? What is meant by electrochemical series, or this series can be called as activity series. We can call this series as activity series. What is meant by electrochemical series? The arrangement of various electrodes. In the increasing values of standard reduction potentials. So we are expressing in terms of standard reduction potentials. The arrangement of various electrodes in the increasing values of standard reduction potentials. This arrangement we call it as electrochemical series. Now you can see in this chart, this is an activity series chart, Hofstede electrode reaction reduction potential values. So if you observe for lithium, potassium, suppose metals, lithium, potassium, calcium, they have got low reduction potential values. Low reduction potential value means, low means minus 3.04 means lowest reduction potential value is for lithium ion. Lowest reduction potential value is for lithium metal possess low reduction potential values. So if you come down the group, so negative minus 3 point something to, you can see standard reduction potential. What is the standard reduction potential value of hydrogen? So that is 0. That is 0. Already you know this. She, standard reduction potential value of hydrogen is taken as 0. And if you move down the group, slowly the reduction potential values slowly increases. Reduction potential values slowly increases down the group. So now from this, what we can say? What we can say from this? Reduction potential values slowly increases down the group. So like that, if you go on, you can get it for different. So reduction potential value slowly increases down the group, and finally you can see big charts are there here. This is another one. So finally, if you continue the chart, finally that is fluorine. This one you can see F2 plus 2 electrons, that is 2.87 plus 2.87. All values are positive, right? So for fluorine, it has got the highest positive reduction potential value. Fluorine has got the highest positive reduction potential value, and lithium has got the minus 3.05 least reduction potential value. So this is called activity series, students. So from this activity series, we can convey some points. We can draw some points from this series chart, and to compare the relative oxidizing and reducing powers. So we are discussing applications of electrochemical series. In what way this electrochemical series helps us? Applications. First one, to compare the relative oxidizing and reducing powers. Oxidizing and reducing powers. So here, how can you compare? So as per sign convention, the positive sign is used to represent reduction potential. Greater the reduction potential, greater is the reduction potential, more easily is the substance reduced. Greater is the reduction potential, more easily the substance is reduced. Very important. Greater is the reduction potential value, greater the reduction potential value, more easily, very, very important point, is the substance reduced. Is the substance reduced. So that much easily the substance will undergo reduction. So greater the reduction potential value, more easily the substance is reduced. So the substance which undergo reduction, that acts as strongest oxidizing agent. Strongest oxidizing agent. So those electrodes which have got more positive reduction potential value, that substance undergoes reduction very easily. So that acts as strongest oxidizing agent. That acts as strongest oxidizing agent. So from this we can say vice versa. Lower is the reduction potential value. Lower is the reduction potential value. The less easily the substance is reduced, and it's a weak oxidizing agent. So first one point you remember, greater is the reduction potential value, more easily the substance is reduced, strongest oxidizing agent. So from this we can write, stronger oxidizing agents have greater reduction potential values. Stronger oxidizing agents. Stronger oxidizing agents have, what is meant by an oxidizing agent? It's an agent which oxidizes other substance and itself undergo reduction. We call it as an oxidizing agent. So stronger oxidizing agents have greater positive reduction potential values, greater positive reduction potential values. If you observe the chart here, fluorine is the powerful oxidizing agent which has highest reduction potential value of how much, students? See the chart, plus 2.87 of plus 2.87 volts. Okay, now stronger reducing agents, if you take next point, stronger reducing agents have lower reduction potential values. For example, if you take lithium has more negative reduction potential value. More negative reduction potential value means lower reduction potential value. So it acts as powerful reducing agent. Lower reduction potential value. If any electrode has got very low reduction potential value, more negative reduction potential value, or very low reduction potential value, that acts as powerful reducing agent. So among them, lithium, how much it has got? Minus 3 point something. Lithium has got minus 3 point something, 3.04, like that. Very least reduction potential value is for lithium. Okay, this is the first advantage. Next, second application, to compare the relative reactivities of metal. We use this electrochemical series chart to compare the relative activities of metal. So how can you compare the relative activities of metals here, or reactivities of metal? So smaller the reduction potential value of a metal, so this point you have to note down. Smaller the RP means reduction potential. Smaller the reduction potential value of a metal, more easily it can lose electrons. More easily it can lose electrons. And hence greater is its reactivity. That is the important thing. See, a metal with lower reduction potential value. Okay, did you understand this point? Next, a metal with lower reduction potential value can displace a metal with higher reduction potential value. Very, very important. All displacement reactions will work on this principle. A metal with lower reduction potential value can displace a metal with higher reduction potential value. From its aqueous salt solution. Very, very important. A metal with lower reduction potential value can displace a metal with higher reduction potential value. Lower reduction potential value is more negative reduction potential value. A metal with more negative reduction potential value can displace a metal with less negative reduction potential value. So simply, you can remember this statement. A metal with lower reduction potential value can displace a metal with higher reduction potential value from their aqueous salt solution. So if you observe that activity series, order decreasing reactivity of various metals based on that electrochemical series data. Magnesium is more reactive than zinc. Zinc is more reactive than iron. Iron is more reactive than copper. Copper is more reactive than silver. If you observe this activity series. So here zinc plus copper sulfate. So I think reaction is feasible or not? You can say zinc displaces copper from copper sulfate solution. Why? See, if you observe the electrochemical series chart, what is the electrode potential for zinc? If you observe the chart, for electrode reduction potential for zinc, E naught Zn2 plus by Zn, what is the reduction potential value of zinc? It is given as minus 0.76 volts. And E naught reduction potential value of copper we will take. Reduction potential value of copper, E naught of Cu2 plus by Cu, and it is given as plus copper how much? Plus 0.34. So from this, zinc displaces copper from copper sulfate solution. A metal with lower reduction potential value can displace a metal with higher reduction potential value. Here copper has got high reduction potential value from its aqueous salt solution. So zinc has got low reduction potential value. A metal with lower reduction potential value can displace a metal with high reduction potential value from its aqueous salt solution. So this reaction is feasible. You can say this reaction is feasible. So here generally more reduction potential value, this acts as cathode, students, and this one acts as anode. Generally low reduction potential value means it acts as generally anode here. Zinc acts as anode and copper acts as cathode here. So the conclusion point here is, suppose if you reverse copper plus zinc sulfate solution, so this reaction is not feasible. It will not occur. So if you want, you can check electrode EMF of the cell. If you calculate EMF of the cell, for a feasible redox reaction, EMF of the cell must always be positive. E cathode minus E anode must be positive. See, for apply that, you know one rule, EMF of the cell is equal to reduction potential at cathode minus reduction potential at anode. So if you apply this formula, you will get 0.34 minus of minus 0.76, you will get positive value. But the same thing if you apply here for this equation, if you apply the same formula, EMF of the cell becomes negative. So that's why that reaction is not feasible. Remember that point. EMF of the cell is negative means that is not feasible reaction. At the same time, you can take one more example. Copper dipped in silver nitrate solution. So you may get CuNO3 taken twice plus Ag. So what is the reduction potential value of copper here? Plus 0.34. And what is the reduction potential value of silver? See the electrochemical series chart. So that is plus 0.80. So what I said, a metal with low reduction potential value can displace a metal with high reduction potential value. Metal with low reduction potential value can displace a metal with high reduction potential value from its aqueous salt solution. So this reaction is feasible. If you want to check EMF of the cell, EMF of the cell is equal to, so here E cathode minus E anode. So cathode is silver, 0.80 minus 0.34, you will have positive value. So at the same time, if you take reverse reaction, silver plus copper nitrate solution, if you take this reaction will not take place. So why? Because if you do this, EMF of the cell becomes negative, so that reaction is not feasible. So very important. You can predict the feasibility of a chemical redox reaction, whether the reaction is feasible or not, can be checked by this using this electrochemical series chart. Take the electrode reduction potentials of cathode and anode and apply the formula EMF of the cell. EMF of the cell is equal to reduction potential at cathode minus reduction potential at anode. Already you know the formula. Standard reduction potential at cathode minus standard reduction potential at anode. So I will not repeat it again, this formula. So next, one more application here, to predict whether a metal reacts with acid to give hydrogen gas or not. You already know general point, metal reacts with acid to liberate hydrogen gas, but all metals will not do that. So you can predict whether a metal reacts with acid, to predict whether a metal reacts with acid to give hydrogen gas. Predict whether a metal reacts with acid to give hydrogen gas. So metals which have low reduction potential value can displace hydrogen from their acids. That is the key point. Metals which have low reduction potential values can displace hydrogen gas, from their acids. So those metals which have got low reduction potential values, when they are treated with acid, they liberate hydrogen gas. Very, very important point. So all metals lying, see, if you observe the chart like this is hydrogen, it has got 0.00, and this is above hydrogen, above metals lying above hydrogen. Metals lying above hydrogen, they possess negative RP values, reduction potential values, and those metals have lying below hydrogen in electrochemical series. Below hydrogen in electrochemical series, they possess positive reduction potential values. Okay. Now the point is, all metals lying above hydrogen in the electrochemical series, above means which possess negative RP values. Hydrogen has got 0, and below possess positive reduction potential values. So all metals which are lying above hydrogen in electrochemical series react with acid to liberate hydrogen gas. So what is the statement? All metals lying above hydrogen, that means having negative RP values, lying above hydrogen in the activity series chart. The activity series displace hydrogen, or otherwise displace hydrogen and release hydrogen gas when treated with acids. So next point, very important point. Next, lower the reduction potential value of a metal, higher is its reactivity. Okay, students. Next, metals lying below hydrogen. In electrochemical series can't liberate hydrogen gas, when treated with acids. Very, very important point. Every point is clear, students. Now, so basing on that, you can say next application. To predict spontaneity of a redox reaction. So what is the other one? To predict feasibility or spontaneity. Feasibility or spontaneity of a chemical reaction. So spontaneity. So whether the reaction is spontaneous or not, you can predict it. So how can you predict it? By applying the formula EMF of the cell is equal to standard EMF of the cell is equal to reduction potential at cathode minus reduction potential at anode. Remember that by using this. So when you use this formula, already we have taken, if EMF of the cell is equal to positive, that implies spontaneous, that reaction is feasible, that reaction takes place. Spontaneous or the reaction is feasible. Okay. If EMF of the standard EMF of the cell becomes 0 or not 0, negative, so that is non-spontaneous, that is not feasible, that reaction will not take place. non-spontaneous. So to predict feasibility or spontaneity of a reaction, that is important point. Next, predicting thermal stability of metal oxide. Predicting thermal stability of metal oxide. You can take this help. So how to predict the thermal stability here? Smaller the reduction potential value of a metal in a particular oxide, more easily it can lose electrons, greater is its electropositive character, and hence more stable it is. See, for example, I can tell you one point: barium oxide, calcium oxide, sodium oxide, magnesium oxide, Al2O3. Like this, some oxides are given, and which of the following oxides are thermally more stable, like that they will ask. So here standard RP value, reduction potential value of a particular metal in its oxide, minus 2.90. Here for calcium minus 2.87, for sodium minus 2.71, magnesium minus 2.37, and aluminum minus 1.66. So smaller the reduction potential value. So where is the smaller reduction potential value? More negative means smaller value. Do you know, madam? I think you know this rule. More negative means smaller reduction potential value. So out of this, which oxide is more stable, students? BaO greater than, CaO greater than, Na2O greater than, MgO greater than, Al2O3. Least stable oxide is Al2O3. So lower reduction potential value is observed for barium. Okay, so we can easily predict, students. So smaller the reduction potential value of metal, more easily it can lose electrons, and greater is its electropositive character, and hence more stable is its oxide. Now coming to the point of two oxides, special case, silver oxide and mercuric oxide. If you take silver oxide and mercuric oxide here, silver oxide versus mercuric oxide here, so both oxides are actually least stable. Why both oxides are least stable? The reduction potential values of here silver ion, here it is plus 0.80, and for mercury it was found to be plus 0.86. So out of them, so these oxides are least stable due to positive reduction potential values. Due to greater reduction potential, if any metal possesses greater reduction potential value, that metal will form least stable oxide. So silver oxide is least stable. It decomposes to silver plus half O2 because of this only, this reason. Next, mercuric oxide is also least stable. 2HgO gives rise to 2Hg plus O2. So this is very, very important point. So all these are applications of electrochemical series. I hope you understood, students, related to this. Now we will have one numerical. Now we will have numerical session, students. E3. See here, note down this sum. Calculate the standard electrode potential of Cu plus Cu half cell. So this is E naught. We have to represent it like this: E naught Cu plus Cu. Okay. So calculate the standard electrode potential of this cell. So this value I want, electrode potential, and it is given that E naught value of standard reduction potential value of Cu2 plus 2 Cu is given as 0.337 volts, and the standard reduction potential value of Cu2 plus 2 Cu, it is given as 0.153 volts. Now he is asking us to calculate standard reduction potential value of Cu plus 2 Cu. So how much X? Now how can you do this, students? So three redox reactions you have to write. Given Cu2 plus 2 electrons gives rise to Cu. Okay, here E naught standard reduction potential value, E naught value for this redox reaction is given as 0.337 volts. So this is equation 1. Okay students, this is equation 1. Next, what about equation 2? Cu2 plus Cu2 plus to Cu. Both are same I have written, right? Cu2 plus to Cu first one, second one Cu2 plus to Cu plus, students, correct it. Here I am correcting. See here, this is Cu2 plus to Cu plus. Okay. Now let us do it. How you will get Cu2 plus to Cu? One electron only have to add, that is Cu plus. So here electrode potential of Cu2 plus to Cu plus, how much it is given? 0.153 volts. Okay. Now what he is asking? He is asking us to calculate Cu plus plus electron gives rise to Cu. So what is the standard electrode potential of Cu plus to Cu? This is X. Three equations I have written, students. Three equations, three half cell reactions. Same copper in different oxidation states it has appeared. So first, for first equation, and this is second equation, and this is third equation, right? Three equations I have written. So I was supposed to calculate the standard electrode potential for this reaction. Okay students, now how to solve it? So for first reaction I am writing delta G01. Okay, delta G01 is equal to, what is the formula? Minus N1F E01, right? So that is delta G01 I am calculating. I am considering for first equation, that is first equation. What I will get? How many electrons are transferred there? 2. So minus 2 into F into E01 means 0.337. This is delta G01. Next, second equation, delta G02. For second equation, how much? How many electrons are transferred? Only 1. So I am using the formula minus N2F E02. So for that, how many electrons transferred? 1. So minus 1 into F into 0.153. Now what about if you do 1 minus 2? What you are going to get? So how to get delta G3 naught? So how you are going to get? Our aim is, by using 1 and 2 reactions you have to bring third reaction, right? By using 1 and 2 equations you have to bring third equation. How you are going to get third equation? Equation 1 minus equation 2. If I do 1 minus 2, I want to get third equation, students. So what I am doing is equation 1 minus equation 2. So just observe it. Equation 1 minus equation 2, what I will get? Cu, this side only 1 electron is left. Cu minus Cu plus. Cu minus Cu plus electron. So finally you will get that if you take equation 1 minus equation 2, you will get the equation 3. So equation 1 minus equation 2, if I do, I am going to get delta G3 naught for that reaction is equal to delta G1 naught minus delta G2 naught. So here what you will get? Finally, if you take subtraction, minus 2F into 0.337 minus of minus F into 0.153. So how much you will get? If you do, you will get subtraction minus 0.521 Faraday. If you do this, delta G3 naught value, that is delta G3 naught value. So delta G3 naught means here you can take minus N3 F E naught 3 equal to minus 0.521 F. So N3 means how many electrons are there in the third equation? Only one. So minus 1 into F into E3 E naught 3 is equal to minus 0.521 F. So finally, if you cancel, how much you will get? E3 naught is equal to FF cancel here, F minus F. You will get plus 0.521. So here n is equal to 1. So like that you have to do, students. Or I said one formula, directly we can apply in that formula. I said one formula before for you. You can apply that formula. Better to do in this manner. I have to get that equation. Very, very important model, students. Thank you for listening.